understand that this meeting was planned on the slogan "Wars, from wars to still," and I am illustrating still, which of course I'm not agreeing with, because although I am 94, I'm not still working, and anybody who asks me, are you still doing this or that, I don't answer, because I'm not doing things still. I'm doing it like I always did. I still have, or did I use the word still? I didn't mean that. I have my file, which is called To Do. I have my plans. I have my clients. I'm doing my work like I always did. So this takes care of my age. I want to show you my work so you know what I am doing and why I am here. This was about 1925. All of these things were made during the last 75 years. Well, of course, I'm working since 25, doing more or less what you see here. This is Castleton. This was an exhibition at the Museum of Modern Art. This is now for sale at the Metropolitan Museum. This is still at the Metropolitan Museum, now for sale. This is a portrait of my daughter and myself. Well, these were some of the things I made. I made hundreds of them for the last 75 years. How I call myself a maker of things. I don't call myself an industrial designer because, among other things, industrial designers want to make novel things. Novelty is a concept of commerce, not a aesthetic concept. The Industrial Design magazine, I believe, is called Innovation. Innovation is not part of the aim of my work. Well, makers of things. We make things more beautiful, more elegant, more comfortable than just the craftsmen do. I have so much to say, I have to think what I'm going to say. Well, to describe our profession otherwise, we are actually concerned with the playful search for beauty. That means the playful search for beauty was called the first activity of man. Cyril Smith, who was a mathematics professor at MIT, wrote that playful search for beauty was man's first activity, that all useful qualities and all material qualities were developed from the playful search for beauty. These are tiles. The word playful is a necessary aspect of our work because actually one of our problems is that we have to produce lovely things throughout all of life. And this for me is now 75 years. So how can you, without drying up, make things with the same pleasure as a gift to others for so long? The word playful is therefore an important part of our quality as designer. let me tell you some about my life. As I said, I started to do these things 75 years ago. My first exhibition in the United States was at the Sesquicentennial exhibition in 1926, where the Hungarian government sent one of my hand-drawn pieces as part of the exhibit. My work actually took me through many countries and showed me a great part of the world. This is not that they took me. The work didn't take me. I made the things, particularly because I wanted to use them to see the world. I was incredibly curious to see the world, and I made all these things, which then finally did take me to see many countries and many cultures. I started as an apprentice to a Hungarian craftsman, and this taught me what the guild system was in Middle Ages. The guild system, that means when I was an apprentice, I had to apprentice myself in order to become a pottery master. In my shop where I studied or learned, there was the traditional hierarchy of master, journeyman, unlearned worker, and apprentice. And I was the apprentice. The work as an apprentice was very primitive. That means I had to actually learn every aspect of making pottery by hand. We washed the clay with our feet when it came from the hillside. After that, it had to be kneaded, it had to then go in kind of a mangle, and then finally it was prepared for the throwing. And there I really worked as an apprentice. My master took me to set ovens, because this was part of oven making, oven setting in the time. And finally, I received a document that I had accomplished my apprenticeship successfully, that I had behaved morally, and this document was given to me by the Guild of Roof Coverers, Well Diggers, Oven Setters, Chimney Sweeps, and Potters.